Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video I'm playing myself in the Dragon Lane. And I was theory crafting a lot with building Akshan, right? Like I'm theory crafting a lot. As you can see, the build right there, it kind of looks like a troll build now, doesn't it? Like this doesn't look like a genuine build, right? Blade of the Ruined King, With's End, Rune on Zero Gain, Death's Dance, what? Let me show you and explain to you exactly how to play and how to build Akshan. I know this champion in and out. There's timestamps in the description to just skip to the gameplay. I don't like how I look like this, so let me just put this one up. So yeah, there's timestamps in the description. This video is gonna take a really long time during the build because there is so much to explain about this champion. So let me get into it. As I said, like there are timestamps if you don't care about how to build him, but I really want to take my time with Akshan because there is a million different things that you can do. So, alright, the first thing, always Blade of the Ruined King first. Like, I've tried multiple things, I've tried this, I've tried that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not gonna tell you everything that I've tried because it doesn't matter, because Blade of the Ruined King is the best item. Akshan's third ability deals physical damage. And then, like, every time you do physical damage, it deals bonus damage equal to 6% of the enemy's current health. Obviously, this is huge with your third ability. This is huge with your ultimate. This is huge with your first ability. Your third ability only applies 25% damage of the on-hit effects, but it applies so many attacks that it's worth it. It's totally worth it. Like, you're gonna slow the enemy and you're gonna be burning through their HP, especially if the enemy is from full HP. Same goes for your ultimate, as I said. Like, every time you hit your ultimate with that shot, it deals bonus damage because of the Blade of the Ruined King. Now, it's not going to be a lot because with your ultimate, you're going to be finishing off enemies. But what I'm trying to say is this item perfectly complements how Akshan works. Always get a Blade of the Ruined King first item. Of course, as your second item, you want to get tier 1 boots. And then here it starts to get complicated because there's multiple different approaches that you can take here with Akshan. So let me tell you about one approach that you shouldn't take anymore, which is the Solari Charge Blade. Do not go for Solari Charge Blade on Akshan anymore. This item is absolute trash on him. Like, the stats that it provides doesn't make sense at all. Like, it doesn't make sense at all because it doesn't increase your crit or anything like that anymore. This item is just not meant for Akshan. This item is meant for champions that really spam their abilities, like Lucian and Corki, for example. Akshan doesn't really do that. So don't go for Solari on Akshan anymore. It's just not a good item. Next up, we have the Storm Razor. And this item is great on Akshan. And let me tell you, like, if you're against a squishy composition, you know, if the enemy is squishy, boom, you can get a Storm Razor as your second item. And then as your third item, you can get something like an Infinity Edge. Like, if the enemy is very squishy, that's how you can choose to build him. So we have more items that you can go for on Akshan. And one of my favorites is the With's End. As I told you guys, items with on-hit effects, you know, on-hit, which means like applying effects to your basic attacks. You see, basic attacks deal 15 to 80 damage, and if you're below 50% health, dealing damage to an enemy champion heals you for 33% of the damage, which is huge. While you're using your third ability, you're going to be healing up for such a crazy amount when you have the With's End. But let me tell you about this item. This item is only worth it if you're gonna be utilizing this, which is the magic resistance. If you are up against like a Katarina and an Evelyn, for example, or like against an enemy Nami support and then also, I don't know, like a Orianna in the mid lane, and you feel like you really have to deal with them, boom, With's End third item, gonna make you incredibly tanky against them, and it works very well with Akshan. If you're not up against the magic damage, then don't go for the With's End. So you may be asking, what can I go for? So yet again, there's multiple approaches that you can take. One in particular, which I really love, and which is one that I'm going to be covering in today's video, is the Death's Dance approach, guys. Many people, and I know many people are going to be saying, Hells, you're trolling, like this doesn't make any sense. But let me explain. So the Death's Dance, this is like the armor item, this is the go-to armor item to go on Akshan if you need the armor, right? Like, if you're against a heavy attack damage composition, you want to have armor, this is the item that you get as your second item. You could get it as your third item as well, but let me explain. 35 attack damage, 40 armor, 15 ability haste. Decent stats. These are pretty good stats. But now let's talk about this. Champion takedowns cleanse Cauterize remaining damage pool. What it means, like, let's actually first read this passive, because then this passive works based on how this one works. So let's read this one. Cauterize 35% of the physical damage if you are ranged which Akshan is, you actually only authorize 15% of the damage. So like, if an enemy deals 100 physical damage to you on the spot, you actually only take 85 damage, and then the 15 other damage you're going to be you're not going to be taking it, and you're only going to be taking it over the next 3 seconds, right? As true damage. So you cannot avoid the damage. But champion takedowns cleanse authorized remaining damage. So all the 15% damage that you've stored is going to go away. And then it restores, here it says 2% of your max health, but I believe it's supposed to be 20%. It's a misclick, or it's like a typo. This is definitely a typo. The healing is much, much more. Trust me, I know. Like, I've seen the healing, it's much more than this. So, like, I'm pretty sure it's more, or I'm just stupid, but it's worth it. Let me tell you, it's worth it. First of all, when you store the damage, Akshan gets a lot of kills and assists during team fight. That's the beauty of Akshan. This item is going to make you tanky, this item is going to allow you to dance around, and it's going to be healing you up constantly. And then on the other hand, you also have the Blade of the Rune King to heal you up, so you can keep fighting, and it makes you tankier. It literally makes you tankier, because you're not going to be taking that 15% damage up front. And then if the fight takes longer, Akshan deals a lot of sustained damage. Akshan is not a burst champion. He's a sustained damage champion. And that is why Death Stance works super well on him. And there's your third item. Or like, as I said, like, if you need a withstand, you go for a withstand. If you don't, then you don't. You can get a Death Stance. I also want to talk about a Runaan's Hurricane. This item is amazing on Akshan. And let me tell you when you want to get this item. If you're against a heavy melee composition, okay? Yet again, I know that this all sounds complicated, but like pretty much, like there's so many viable items on Akshan. It's crazy. It's crazy how many items are good on Akshan. But let me tell you. Runaan's Hurricane, this one is good if there's a lot of melee champions. Reason is, like if they stack up, you're going to be dealing damage to all 3 of them. Another reason is Akshan's basic attacks hurt a lot. Another reason is Akshan gets movement speed, so he will get additional movement speed when you hit multiple enemies. And then another reason is you already have a lot of on-hit items. You have a Blade of the Rune King, you're going to be applying those effects to the other enemies as well. It's just a perfect item for Akshan. Like, as I said, if you're against like a Yasuo, Alistar, Camille, Fiora, whatever, just melee champions, you can choose to get a Runaan's Hurricane. It's like your 3rd item or something. And then, if you really want to hard carry the game, you get a Mortal Reminder or a Cyrilda's Grudge as your 4th item. Okay, this is going to be your 4th item, Cyrilda's Grudge or Mortal Reminder, because you need the armor penetration. If you want to be more of a supportive type of Akshan, which you can do as well, then you can also get a Black Cleaver. And you can get the Black Cleaver as your 2nd or your 3rd item if you want to. Like, as I said, there's countless things that you can do on him. And as I said, like, if you want to support your team, you know, if you see that your teammates are doing very well, your attack damage teammate, like if you have a Yasuo that's doing really well and you're not doing too well, you can choose to just, you know, go for a Black Cleaver as your 2nd item and support the Yasuo, because then you're going to be burning the enemy's armor. Because your 3rd ability and your ultimate, as I said, they deal a lot of ticks of damage, so you're very easily going to be burning the armor of the enemy. Let's see. So when you go for the crit approach, which you can do as well, I don't like that one anymore as much, because the Solari Charge Plate was a core item for him. Your basic attacks are basically not going to crit as much. And like, again, you can do it. You can go for the energized build, like, let me see if I have it somewhere. So it would be a build like this one. Let me just quickly prepare it for you. It's not too hard. So boom, boom. And then the static shift. Where is the static shift? There you go. Like a build like this. You know, you can go for a build like exactly like this. You can also go for this build, and this build I recommend against a squishy enemy. As I said, you know, when you go for the Stormrazor 2nd, you can choose to go for a mixed build. You know, you go for Stormrazor 2nd, and then you go for a bit of a tankier build. But this is basically the biggest damage build. Like, if you really want to deal the most damage from any other build, then this is the build to go. Like, this one is going to give you massive damage. It's insane. Against squishies, however, keep in mind. But this build is going to keep you squishy as well. That's the problem of it. So let's say you have a build like this, right? Like you build a Blade of the Rune King, you build a Death Stance, you build a Runaan's Hurricane against the melee champions, and then a Mortal Reminder to reduce their healing and penetrate the armor. What is going to be your last item? Whatever you need, right? Guardian Angel is of course good if you need a Guardian Angel. It gives you a lot of armor. Keep in mind, you already have armor from the Death Stance, but if you want to have a Guardian Angel on top, you can go for it. I don't recommend it, however, because the Death Stance is already more than enough defense. Like, you don't really need a Guardian Angel. Storm Razor is one that you can go as well, even as your 5th item. And I know that only going for one energized item is going to be reducing your damage a little bit, but Storm Razor is such a good item for Akshan because it allows you to catch out enemies. Like, especially if you're snowballing the game, you can choose to get a Storm Razor just as your 4th or 5th item even, because one basic attack slows the enemy, then you shoot your first ability, and if the enemy is slowed, you're going to be hitting your chakram for free, then you can use your 3rd ability to dash to the enemy and kill him. So that's basically the thing of the Storm Razor. It doesn't make you any tankier or anything like that. It just gives you that single target catching out potential that Akshan really benefits from. So the boots that you want to go for, not Glutinous Greaves. You already have a Blade of the Rune King. You don't need a Glutinous Greaves. Not the boots of Swiftness. Mercury's Threads are decent. But I prefer plated steel caps. Like, these are generally the boots that I like to go for. Akshan just works very well against attack damage because, as I said, like, if you go for the Death Stance build and then add the plated steel caps to it as well, it's so good. Right? Like, it's so good. And then for your enchantment, there's multiple ones that you can go for as well. I love the Proto Belt. Yet again, like, especially combined with the Storm Razor, it allows you to get close to the enemy, basic attack, and then catch them out. But even without a Storm Razor, it allows you to get close to an enemy, use your Chakram, which is your first ability. It gives you a lot of bonus movement speed and catch out an enemy. You can go for the Quicksilver enchant. Akshan really struggles against CC, so if you're up against like an Ash or something, you can get the Quicksilver enchant. Stasis, I don't recommend too much because you cannot use your stasis during your 3rd ability anymore. They fixed it. And Akshan really wants to be running around in a team fight, right? Like, you want to be getting those kills, you want to be reviving your allies. So I don't really like stasis on Akshan, but of course, if you need it, you go for it. Now let's talk about the runes. Conquer. Always Conquer. Like, just go for Conquer. And then let me see. Let me go to the other build. If you go for this more carry build, then you're generally going to be better off to go for a Hunter Vampirism because you're dealing so much damage. Having the bonus Vampirism for your 2nd rune when you go for a build like this, the carry build, is going to be very helpful because, you know, you're going to be healing up a lot. If you go for a tankier build, which is this one, right? Like with the Death Stance, with like stuff like the Guardian Angel or whatever, but especially the Death Stance, this is like the tankiness that I'm talking about, then you can get a Triumph. Triumph is not going to help you too much damage-wise, especially not in your lane. But in the late game, this rune is a monster. This is a monstrous rune. You can finish off enemies more easily because you do 5% bonus damage, and enemy takedowns restore 10% missing health. Combine this with the restoration from the Death Stance as well. You're going to be restoring so much health when you kill or when you get a kill or an assist in a team fight. Like, the combo of Death Stance and Triumph is absolutely amazing. And then as your 3rd rune, it depends on the matchup. Bone Plating is a safe early game rune. Adaptive Carapace is a safe early game rune if you're against like heavy attack damage. And then Conditioning allows you to scale into the late game, but I don't recommend Conditioning because, believe it or not, Akshan can actually win early game pretty easily. He's very strong, especially at level 1. So I don't recommend Conditioning. I either recommend Adaptive Carapace, Hunter Titan if you need it, or the Bone Plating. And then for your 4th rune, Sweet Tooth. It's just go for Sweet Tooth. And then for your spells, I actually don't really recommend Barrier, only if like okay, Exhaust is going to be your number 1. You know, you should always go Exhaust. But if you feel like you're not going to be utilizing Exhaust too much, or if you really want a barrier, examples of champions that you want a barrier against is Caitlyn, right? Because reason is, Caitlyn's ultimate is, like, barrier is really good against Caitlyn's ultimate. So when she tries to finish you off, bloop, you use the barrier and you block her ultimate. Other examples would be stuff like Darius, Garen, you know, champions that can basically finish you off where you can really utilize the barrier well against. Otherwise, always Exhaust, like pretty much always Exhaust. So now that is finally it for the build part, 14 minutes. Now let's get into the gameplay. Alright, on to the gameplay. So, Akshan, guys, as I said, I've been doing some theory crafting on Akshan, right? Like testing out some crazy builds. And as I said, like if you want to play the normal Akshan, if you don't want to be trying out some crazy stuff that I talked about during my build part, you can do it, right? Like you can go for the crit items, you can go for the Storm Razor, Infinity Edge, blah, blah, blah. But what you're going to be seeing in this game is probably something that you've never seen before. It's probably a build that you've never seen before. And besides teaching you how to play Akshan, give me a sec. Besides teaching you how to play Akshan, I kind of want to open up your eyes. You know, I'm talking to you guys right now. I kind of want to open up your eyes to new builds. As in, you don't have to follow the crowd. Like, You know, when I make YouTube videos and I tell you, this is how you need to build Jin and this is how you need to build Darius, I know what I'm talking about. And when other YouTubers do it, they know what they're talking about too, right? Like they're giving you guys a build. But there's also other builds that work. And this doesn't necessarily mean that some other build that even a YouTuber says doesn't work, won't work. There is a lot of stuff that can work, and especially situational builds. There is just certain situations where a certain build does better than another. He's gonna flash, I can kill him. Yeah, there it is. Did you see how I killed that Caitlyn, by the way? You can combo your flash with your first ability. The way that you do it, so you activate your first ability, then you flash towards an enemy, and he's instantly gonna throw it when you're close to the enemy. I did that to kill the Caitlyn. But what I'm talking about right here is, don't just let people tell you this is the only way how you can play the champion, this is the only way how you can build it, nothing else works, because that's not true. There is certain situations, like, for example, you know, when I'm playing Draven, in the old patch, but the same counts for the new patch, I would sometimes build a Death Stance, you know? And people may say, like, Death Stance is not an item for squishies. I know it's not, but in certain situations, you know, when you're up against the Rengar that is one-shotting you, for example, or when you're up against the Zed that's dealing so much physical damage to you, you can get a Death Stance. You don't have to go for the ADC items, right? Like the ADC items, the Infinity Edge, you know, you don't have to. Of course, it works most of the times, but there is just certain games where it's better to not. Like, let's take a look at this game, for example, okay? By the way, I'm doing a skin giveaway, giving away 8 legendary skins. All you have to do to enter is put a comment under the video. Right here, unfortunately, I can't really do anything, but when we look at this game, look at the enemy, okay? They have a Karma support. Karma deals ability power, but she's the support, so she's going to be going for a support build, right? So she's not going to deal that much damage. Now look at the other enemies. Look at the other enemies. Caitlyn, attack damage. Yasuo, attack damage. Pantheon, attack damage. Camille, attack damage. Do you now understand why I chose to go for a Death Stance in this game? Just an example. Do you now understand why I chose to go for such a weird item as my second item? Ooh, taking a lot of damage here. Let's take a look. I'm looking. Oh, there he goes. He hits. First ability, third ability. I have my ultimate to finish off whoever I want. He's dead. And ultimate. He's dead as well. Easy. You see? Like, we basically baited them in. I was waiting for the perfect moment to go in. Keys hit a beautiful bubble on Nami, so I followed up instantly. And Akshan works very well with these types of champions. Like, I would definitely say that Nami is the best champion for Akshan. There's multiple reasons. First of all, if your Nami hits a bubble, Akshan is one of those champions that can really perfectly follow up because you just deal so much damage. Second thing is, Akshan has 2 parts on his basic attack. Nami, when she buffs your attacks, she buffs the next 3 attacks. So basically, you can proc 2 of those attacks in an instant because you do boom boom. Akshan does 2 attacks, so like he can utilize the buff from Nami very, very well. So your burst damage is insane. He just works very well with Nami. Like, as you can see here, I was thinking, okay, what do I want to build? And then it came to my mind, like, hey, why would I not go for a Death Stance here? You know, they changed the Death Stance to give you 40 armor. They changed it to heal you when you kill enemies. Let's give it a try this game, right? Like, instead of going for the standard ADC items, let's give it a try, because why the hell not? I already have a Blade Rune King, which is a very strong item. Like, this is a very good power spec when you get it. So here Yasuo is coming to me. He cannot really do anything. I just use 1 basic attack on him, use the movement speed that Akshan gets. Ooh, I missed my third ability. But as you can see, like, I can very easily run away from a Yasuo. That's why I love Akshan against those melee champions, because you can kite them so easily. I gotta be a little careful here though. Although they seem to be overextending a little bit. Oof, the karma damage though. Wow, it's gonna be a little less in the late game. That's the thing. Like, that's why I'm going for the Death Stance. Karma's damage is not gonna be as much in the later game. I'm a bit low on HP right here. Unfortunately, there's really nothing that I can do. Like, I'm not gonna waste my ult there. There was just nothing that I could do. So what I'm gonna do instead, I'm just gonna push the wave. I have a Blade Rune King, so I'm gonna be healing up slowly but steadily. Like, in situations like this, just leave the dragon, right? Like, don't suicide for the dragon, guys. Please don't be that type of player. It's okay to lose a dragon, right? Like, sure, my Evelyn screwed up. It doesn't matter. Just leave the dragon. So what I'm doing here, let's see. Yeah, Caulfield's Warhammer. I'm going for the Death Stance, guys. I'm going for the item. And, yeah, I'm going for the item, and then I'm going armor boots. Not Ionian boots. I think that was a misclick. Yeah, that was a misclick. Should be going for the armor boots as well on top of the Death Stance, because, you know, I need armor against this enemy. It's beautiful because when you combine this tankiness with the passive of the Death's Dance and Triumph, like you guys will see, you guys will want to see the late game of this game, trust me. Because this is like a whole different Akshan from your normal Akshan. Because we all know the Akshan that deals a lot of damage, the Akshan that crits very hard. But I can guarantee you that you do not know the tanky Akshan, trust me. Oh, Pantheon is coming, he cannot do anything. Like, he cannot do anything. You see, I'm not afraid. Why would I be afraid of him? You see? Like, there's absolutely no reason for me to be afraid. Ultimate, tuk tuk, is dead, easy. There's no reason to be afraid. Like, that's the beauty of Akshan. His passive gives him a barrier as well. When you hit 3 attacks on an enemy, either basic attacks or abilities, you get a barrier, which allows you to survive engages like that as well, right? So, just, you need to understand the limits that Akshan has. You really need to understand how far you can go. And honestly, limit testing is what you need to do. You really need to be good with the third ability as well, with the swing. And I know this can be, I don't know what the Aurelia was doing with it, but I know that this can be a little hard because of course it's not an easy ability to hit properly, you know, because walls block you and then, oh, I can get the item actually. Yeah, there you go. I reverted the boots and I got my Death Stance, guys. I have the Death Stance. So what I was talking about is your third ability. This is a hard ability to hit. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy. Like, I'm not, because it's not. This is actually, in my opinion, one of the hardest abilities to hit well multiple times in a row. Like, sure, you can get a lucky one, but to properly hit this ability multiple times in a row is pretty hard. Let's take a look at what happens here. He should be dead. Boom, there it is. And I could go for this Caitlyn here, but I would have actually, but then the Pantheon showed up, which is kind of funny. Let's take a look. I want to ult her. So I wanted to ult her, but then Caitlyn went out of vision and I wasn't able to ult her, unfortunately. Just take a look at this. Look, I'm tanking it up. I'm tanking all of it up because of the Death Stance. And then I get an assist and I get another kill and I'm full HP. You see? Like, the Death Dance makes you tankier against an enemy like this. So here, they're trying to damage me again. It doesn't work against magic damage, just so you know. But here you can see I'm healing back up because I got an assist. You see, it's just, this is the power of the Death Stance in my current build. It's beautiful. Also allows you to tank up turret shots more effectively, by the way. Because turret shots deal physical damage too. Ooh, now I do have to be careful because, yeah, I'm a bit at low amount of HP. We need to get the turret, by the way. Bloop! Easy turret. Now I need to run away. Just one basic, like, first ability, basic attack gives you movement speed. Your third ability allows you to run away. You have so many tools to run away. Like, let's take a look. He tries to go for me for some reason here. I want to ult him. Ooh, I shot him right through the... Ooh, did you see that one? He even put up his wall. I'm going ham on these enemies. They're all dead, man. Look at this. Tuk tuk. Look, they're all so low. This is the Death Dance. Look, Death Dance heal, Triumph heal, and then Karma death. Death Dance heal, Karma. Or look, I'm full HP. I'm full HP. This is the Death Dance plus the Triumph. Look at this. This is quite literally the perfect situational build, and I want you guys to understand, like, there's more champions that can do this. Like, another example would probably be Yasuo, right? You know, if you play Yasuo, you don't have to go for full crit. If you want, you could get a Death Stance, and it's gonna be even better on a champion like that. And there's more champions that can do things like that. There's so many more. It's crazy. It's crazy that I was just able to do that. Look at that. Like, I left the fight with full HP, and I was in the middle of all of them for such a long time. Oh. Ooh. I got my Runan's Hurricane, by the way. Now you'll see that I'll deal so much damage to the melee champions. It's like, with the Runan's Hurricane, you're gonna be dealing so much damage, especially when you're snowballing. Like, in a team fight, it's super powerful, especially with a red buff, because you're gonna be applying the red buff effect to up to 3 enemies at the same time. It is huge. I'm just kind of looking at what's happening right there. You know, I could potentially get a kill with my ultimate, but nah. Yasuo is coming. I'm not afraid of the Yasuo because I can just kite him. So I'm just gonna go for the fight, right? Like, I'm not gonna... I'm gonna go for him. Look, I avoid his tornado. Actually, I didn't, wow. But it's okay. Like, again, I'm fine. You see? Oh. Oh. Ooh, he's dead. Ooh, he cannot kill me. He cannot kill me. He shouldn't be able to kill me. There we go. There we go. And then the Death Stance heals me up. The Death Stance heals me up, and I'm ready for the next fight again because of the Death Stance. And now let's take a look at the Runan's Hurricane. Look at the power of the Runan's Hurricane right here. Look, boom, 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 boom. Hitting all 3 enemies with my basic attacks right there. Boom, boom, he's also dead. I'm full HP. Yo, Yasuo cannot do anything. Yasuo cannot do anything. Look at him. Look at him. He's desperately trying to do something. He used his wind wall. I know I can kill him now. I know that he's dead. There it is. Easiest kill of my life. Like, you're so incredibly fast as an Akshan. You have to utilize that by just moving around, you know? It's basically same as Jhin. Jhin becomes super fast as well in the late game. Every time you basic attack an enemy, you get bonus movement speed. Same goes for Akshan. You need to utilize this by running around. And it's, as I said, incredibly good against champions like Yasuo. Because what Yasuo wants to do, he wants to hit his first ability, right? And if you're super fast, you cannot. That's right, guys. Like and subscribe for more Akshan. What was that? For more Akshan content. I was thinking about what to build here because, as I said, like, I brought this build from zero. It's kind of funny. Let's see. Storm Razor. Yeah, that's what I went for. Storm Razor last item. Reason is because I was snowballing so hard, and Storm Razor allows me to catch out an enemy more easily. It's a good item to go for as my last item. For some reason, we put down a Rift Herald. Let's take a look. I want to ult. Oh, I just need to hit 1 shot on her. Ah, the turret body blocked it. It's fine though. I can Proto Belt to get close. Yeah, she's dead. Right? Boom, come on, revive. There we go. I just revived Aurelia. Ah, I'm dead. It's fine though. I revived Aurelia at least. So the enemies cannot do Baron. Oh! Yeah, like this is too much, right? Like this is just a bit too much. But I was so tanky in that fight, man. In that sense, let's go, Aurelia. I revived you. Now make me proud of you. There we go. That's the beauty of Akshan, right? Like, you can revive your allies. It's so amazing. Like, the team fight will be lost. Then all of your allies will have died. But then you're just gonna revive every single one of them. And just be like, yeah, whatever. I just did that. Oh, never mind. The one that I revived is kind of inting right now. Yep. I mean, at least I revived him. And then he tries to surrender. God. That's funny. Again, guys, don't copy this exact build. Like, this is a very situational build. I told you during the build part, if you haven't watched it already and you really want to get good at building Akshan, watch it again. There's a million different items to go for an Akshan. And what's especially important on him is to build the right item for the situation. There's so many different situations. As I said, like, if you're against a lot of magic damage, Withstand. If you're against a lot of squishies, Storm Razor second item. You know, if you want to be tanky, you go for this build. If you want to support your team, you go for Black Cleaver. There's like a million things that you can go for. So get the right thing for the right game. That Camille's dealing a lot of damage, by the way. He's a problem. Let's take a look. I'm just trying to kite away this Camille. Ooh, Yasuo. I need to kill this guy. There we go. Ah, just a... If I did it a little further, that would have been so good. I would have gone right in the middle of the fight. I'm just walking into every trap. It's kind of funny. Just ulting this guy to deal some damage, as you can see. We need to kill this Camille. Like, he's the problem. Caitlyn died. Like, as you can see, I'm just gonna go for him. Like, he needs to die. Come on, there we go. Now he's dead. I should be able to easily kill him. Nice. 1300. Did I just get 13? Did I just get 1350 gold from it? I don't know. Maybe I saw it wrong. But you know, you can use the towers as well to rotate around them. You saw it happen in my last Akshan video as well. Rotate around them and do a lot of damage to the enemy because you're gonna be shooting the enemies a lot. Now I got my 5 items, guys. This is 5 item Akshan. Already, 15 minutes into the game, I have a 5 item Akshan. Oh, this is gonna be fun. The damage is gonna be through the roof. You won't believe how much damage this is gonna do. It's crazy. And the beauty is I'm so tanky too. No one can kill me. Like, literally no one can kill me with the current build. I also have a double buff just to top it off. So now we should be able to get this dragon for free. Because if anyone comes close, I should be able to just kill whoever comes close. What? There's Camille. Camille is the only problem, but as you can see, I'm just dealing insane damage to the Camille as well. I have my ult, and boom, easy peasy kill. That stance heals me up, which makes me nearly full HP, and I'm ready to fight again. I'm ready to fight again. I mean, Caitlyn is trying to run. I don't know if I'll go for the Caitlyn. Boom, Proto Belt basic attack, and she's dead. That's the power of Proto Belt, by the way. It allows you to get close, and combined with the Storm Razor, as I said, like, Storm Razor makes it even stronger, the catching out potential. Here you can see what I was talking about. You can get this as your second item too, as I said. Like, if you really want to catch out enemies, you can do that as well by getting Storm Razor as your second item, and then getting a Proto Belt as fast as you can. So, like, as I said, it's endless what you can do. It's literally endless. And what I'm showing you right here, I just kind of wanted to show you a bit of theory crafting that I was doing. Because, you know, I have uploaded multiple Akshan videos, but most of them are just crit Akshan games, where I just go for the standard crit build, right? It's also fun to watch. But this is a bit of a crazy one. This is like a bit of a crazy one where I'm going for just super crazy stuff. And it works out, right? Like, it works out because it's the perfect build for a situational game. I'm actually not going for any armor penetration in this game, which is interesting. And let me actually tell you why, because I remember why. Normally, I should have gone for an armor penetration item as my 5th item. But in this game, I'm snowballing so hard that I actually chose to skip out the armor penetration item and just go for a Storm Razor. That allows me to destroy the squishes of the enemy. So the Yasuo, the Karma, and the Caitlyn. Of course, it's not going to be as good against the Camille, right? Because Camille is going to be a bit tankier. But like, if I need armor penetration, you know, if the game goes for a very long time, I will just sell my Storm Razor and get an armor penetrating item. As you can see, I can just do that whenever I want to, because I have enough gold anyways. So that's why. What I'm doing right here is I'm split pushing with the Baron, because I can 1 versus 1 anyone. So I'm just telling my team, guys, you know, if you just relax at the bottom lane, I'm gonna push a turret. I'm gonna win this turret, and if anyone shows up, I can just fight him. So Camille shows up, of course, the most annoying one from all of them. So I'm just kind of chilling out, because I knew they were gonna follow up, right? Like, I knew the other enemies were gonna be here as well, but I'm not gonna run away. What I'm doing is I'm just staying here, buffing the minions. I'm running away because I don't want to get hit by anything from Karma, to be honest. And here, you know, I'm just chilling. Like, I'm just chilling because my team is applying a lot of pressure on the other sides of the map. As you can see, Jax got some kills right there. I'm just chilling, dealing a lot of damage to the Camille while chilling. Like, she's literally dying while I'm not taking any damage. You see? You see how crazy this is? Dodging out her hook shot, and now they're dead. Like, this is dead. They're just dead. Boom. Boom. Slingshot. Come on. Come on. No way. Look at me. Like, I'm full HP with a barrier on top. That's the beauty of it. Just look at the crazy damage that I'm dealing as well. Boom, boom, boom. Come on. Can you die? Oh, come on. But I'm just not gonna die because I have a death stance. I am just not gonna die. And the thing about death stance is also very good on Akshan, because your passive gives you a barrier, right? Like, the barrier is gonna be tanking up that damage as well. You're essentially taking 15% less damage. That's how you can see it. So that's why. I was looking for an ultimate there, but I couldn't reach, unfortunately. So what I'm doing instead, I'm just going to clear out their entire jungle. Of course, I don't need gold, but I'm going to take away their gold, right? Like, I'm going to take away the gold from the enemies, but I'm not going to clear away my own jungle because I want to leave it to my teammates, right? Like, when you're full build, don't be greedy by taking farm from your teammates as well, right? Like, don't be that type of person. Give your teammates the gold. Except for the red buff, because I am supposed to take the red buff, right? But I'm not going to take any other farm, because it's my own jungle, and my teammates can benefit from the jungle. I shouldn't be taking it. Elder Dragon is spawning. We need to be playing around this one. Like, we can just force a fight and win the game right here. There's no way that the enemies can win a fight against us, unless we really screw up against the Camille. But if I just have proper positioning, I should be able to just destroy the enemy anyways. Like, should be easy. So actually, we're split pushing. So Jax with a Hole Breaker is pushing the bot lane, so he's gonna be a big threat. Trying to catch out this guy. Oh wow, we actually do catch him out. Can I reach? Ah, okay. I'm just using my ultimate right now because it's only on a 33-second cooldown anyways. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna have it up so soon anyways, it doesn't matter. Yet again, as I said, I am taking away the enemy's farm because that's a different story, even though I don't need it. I have 6,000 gold, by the way. 6,000. How crazy is that? So I see that Jax and Nami are doing the dragon. So I'm just kind of in between here. I'm gonna help them, but also want to keep them away. I saw that it's only at 3000 HP, so I'm just making sure, rotating, and we're getting it. So boom, boom, easy peasy dragon. And now the game is over. Now the game is over. Like whatever happens, the game is just over. So let's take a look. Runan's Hurricane, Runan's Hurricane, Runan's Hurricane, Runan's Hurricane is OP. Tuk, 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 tuk. Ah! I got the kill. Nice. Oh no. I'm just not gonna die. I'm just not gonna die. The Death Dance, it makes me too tanky. And then I get a kill. The Death Dance is too good in this game, guys. The Death Dance is just too good. Oh my god. How much damage did I do in this game? How much damage? I'm actually curious how much damage it is. Oh, what? Oh, that was during the recording. I didn't click it now. That was actually during the recording that it happened. That's actually funny. I got baited. This is, by the way, Emerald because it's the beginning of the season. But look, 57,000 damage. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this special type of Akshan video. And yeah, I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.